Good afternoon. Welcome to my podcast, Followers Fake or Real. My name is Jill, coming from Jill Georges, and this is where I create my podcast using the Anchor.fm app or Anchor app and Anchor.fm website. I use the desktop version. For the podcast, I use the record and transitions icons only. I don't use the library, record or upload. I predominantly use that on the app purely because, and I'm just going to look at my app, purely because for the ease of it. It's just super easy to use. So I use the desktop for the vlog, so I can put my episode up on YouTube, and then if you listen to it on the podcast visually, you can see what I'm talking about. That's really it at the end of the day. So, well, let's begin, and I begin with the transition. That's my phone. Let's put it on mute. Right. So we go to anchor.fm and you register for free. And then we go to the new episode up here and I begin with a transition, as I mentioned at the very beginning. And I use Heist and I plus it in there. So it's just a small tune of about 5 seconds that's just an intro. Then we go to record, new recording. I need to hear myself on these green wavy lines, and then we begin recording. Good afternoon, this is Jill coming to you from Jill Georges. This is episode 52 of Followers Fake or Real. This is the podcast that scrutinises social media accounts, business accounts, personal accounts, websites, and we pour through it and scrutinise it and call it out whether we think it's fake or real, or whether I think it's fake or real. Or I'll educate you by going through all of those previous steps and then assist you in making that call. So I think what I probably should mention was yesterday's podcast. Shout out to Dude Drunk Yoga on Instagram and Ellie Walker NYC on Instagram. And such an innovative, maybe not, maybe other people have heard of it, but I thought it was pretty niche. Having a little bit of a drink before and during your yoga session by creating a social space and some mindfulness from all those lovely grapes. Num, 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 num. Anyway, today is a business account that I've spent all morning having a look at. And yes, it's pretty niche and it will be in competition, I would think, with other things. But I think the idea of this was not only to be very helpful, was also to be not as expensive as some of the apps out there. I have seen an app out there that's very expensive, but I think it's for big business. So this is for medium and small side business, and maybe for big business who don't want to spend all that money on other very expensive apps. But this is pretty cool, especially for people who are in real estate or building or designing or... Anyway, let's have a listen. We'll come back in a min. So, other than the fact that sometimes I may ramble, that's what we do. We talk about relevant rambling, but As for the podcast, the plus symbol, I'll just plus it in there and be ready for the next transition. So there it is. Sometimes it takes forever. Pop it in there. Get my next transition, which is Glurch. There we go. Dunskies. And then we begin the next recording. So I'll be back in a tick. Now, the Anchor app gives me the opportunity to convert the video of a segment into, It gives me the opportunity to convert a segment into video, and also it gives you subtitling. Now, it also says that you have to be less than three minutes, be less than 2 minutes 59 seconds, because add the extra second on. If you're at 3 minutes, you're not going to get your video because it'll take you to 3:01. Secondly, what was the other thing? I wanted to mention that if you make a mistake, you can just delete it. You know, I've made a couple because I'm trying to get into a space period. So because of that, I went over in my time, and what was okay with my visual for my vlog, my Anchor, I let there run, and it was at 3:01, and I wanted to stop where I stopped with you guys anyway. So I'm just going to do it portion by portion, because these people have a bit of social media that I wanted to explain, if I could, in more context. So let's get on with it. Tessie. So welcome back to segment 2, the body of it. I wanted to talk about Instagram account initially that I discovered because they liked one of my videos. So Plott, LETS, PLOTT. We are a partner in creativity, focus, design, and create your dream home with Plott and Qubit. So it's this little gadget, and for those who are listening, it's like one of those old measuring tapes, you know, a bit bulky, and you pull out the measuring thingy. Sorry, not very, capable with regards to stuff like this, but what it does is it has a roller. So you roll it along and it can measure objects. But if you're doing a wall or you're looking at something, it can also measure it by looking at it, as in you measure it up from one part of the wall so it sees the other part of the wall, at a guess, from what I've been looking at. And then you can also take photographs of objects, say things you want to put on the wall or things you want to place. And with AR, because it's an app, that you get also a file which is emailed, and it gives you a plan, and there's just a whole bunch of things that enables you to be able to design a room, whether you're a designer or a builder, anything like that. If you're into real estate and you want to freshen it up, well, this might be of interest to you. So I'll go into the apps a bit more about it, and then sort of talk about what I think they're not really looking at. So there's the first part of the segment. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so let's begin again. Okay. So what I meant by going through the apps, I meant social media. I wanted to talk about the fact that they have Let's Plott on Instagram, Let's Plott on Twitter. They've got letsplott.com, which gives you a lot of information. I even did a search to try and find them as their crowdfunding, which took me to Indiegogo and gave me even more information. But the one thing that I wanted to mention is that it was on the 8th of April where someone had asked a question with regards to, shipping and when's it coming, yada, yada. And there's a response there. And you know, you do have one here, Paige responded privately. I get that. And there is another one that doesn't have anything. It has Paige responded privately. Now, this is AR, and they're using a bit of AI, but people like to know that they're talking to you. That's all I'm saying. So that would be my decision, and I am not your CEO, but that's what I would say as an opinion. I'm not going to give you any advice because you guys have your own thing. So anyway, Let's Plot, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and letsplot.com on the website. There we go. So I managed to get 2 pieces of content just around about under 1 minute 45, which I'm happy with. I'll use a portion of that and then I'll break it up and use it as my marketing. And once this is finished, I'm just going to move myself over here. And then again, I go pop and then pop, and you'll see this. And then that lurch, there's the 2 episodes. I'm going to go to a transition. And my final transition I use is popcorn. It just sounds pretty cool. You can use whatever you want. Just listen to them all. And then we go into the final. So we'll be back for the last segment. So you're here. It's the final segment. Congratulations. That's fantastic. So I hope you enjoyed it, as I hope my Anchor audience did. Let me tell them. So if you're here at the last segment, thank you very much for listening. I always appreciate it, and appreciate it more if you would subscribe to either any of my social medias, JILLJORRGES, or on Facebook, jillgeorges.com, spelt DOTCOM. Or just go to my Instagram page, and I've got links there that'll take you to all my social medias. So what I found in this, which is what it is that we do as social media figures, is we are social. Like drunk yoga from yesterday, it was social, and so is social media. Even if you're a business, does not negate the fact that you don't talk to your audience. So, I don't know, maybe there's a reason, maybe there's a way that you're doing things. I can't tell you that, but people find authenticity in conversation. So, thank you very much for listening. I will just let you know lastly again, Let's Plot, LETS, PLOTT on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, and letsplot.com as a website. Awesome tool for designers, builders, real estate, people of that ilk, and anyone else who just wants to do their house and then say to somebody else, hey, have you heard of this little gadget? It's awesome. Anyway, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. As usual, I enjoy it. And please reach out to me if you're interested in me profiling your account, or if you want me to profile someone else's account. If you think, she could profile that account. It needs to be something that's relevant and that people are interested in. And it doesn't have to be bulk. It has to be niche. And sometimes it doesn't have to be, but that's when I'll choose it. But if you want to bring something else to the table, I'm quite happy to look at it. I like looking at it. And people, talk to your peeps on social media. So thanks for listening. Love you. And until then, see you later. Bye. That's the end. Done. Done and done skis. So to finalize the episode, In short, by just using the record and transitions, is we normally, for me, I will use my app at the end because I like to use my music. I always like to put a song at the end, something relevant to do with the episode. Plus it gives you an idea of what music I like. And I got a whole bunch of music because I'm old. I'm not going to say AF. Anyway, moving right along. See what I mean about the fact that it takes so long? Tick tock. Anyway, I'm going to plus that into the episode, and after I plus it, I'm going to do my transition. Now, if I was going to finish, I would go into my final transition, save it, and then I'll show you what I do after. But because I'm doing something different, I do rewind because I use that tune, or just a little bit of 3 seconds, I think. 1 second. And then I put my music on, and you go save, and I've got some thingamajiggity bobs here that I've used before, episode 52. And then normally you put a blurb up here. Thank you, mention who you're talking about, mention what it's about, and then you go publish. You have it paired with your Twitter account and your Facebook account. Now it is in the right world. And then on your app, you can create your video and you just play with it, you know? Just remember to press not to publish yet. If you always remember, by taking your time, it always ends off with when you're pressing buttons, you know, ready to publish, not yet. Remember that, take your time. Anyway, love yous all again. Thank you for listening, and until tomorrow. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Bye.